Hey everyone, today I'm gonna go over the leveling path I'm gonna be doing in Wrath of the Lich King Classic as a prop pally. This isn't gonna be a comprehensive guide on all the ways to level or even the fastest way to level. I'll just be going over 5-man dungeon leveling and questing since that's mostly what I did on the beta and what I'm gonna do on live. I found this to be pretty efficient since you can get good XP per hour while also getting some important reps, items, and dailies unlocked. If you're interested in other ways to level, some things you can look into are Shattered Halls, Steam Vault, or Guard Keep solo farming, or 3 to 4 man dungeon farming. First off, the easiest thing you can do to speed up your leveling is to have 25 quests complete before Wrath launches. Some quests give more XP than others, and you can check how much XP any quest gives on Wowhead. The easiest way to get your 25 done if you don't want to or can't min-max which quests you complete is to just do all of the Isle of Quel'Danas and Netherwing dailies. You can throw in the PvP, dungeon, and heroic dailies from Shatrath, plus any other Shatrath or Shadowmoon quest. That'll get you your 25 quests without much effort. So right before Wrath launch, we're going to use a Swiftness of Zanza, then buy a second one for our bags, then use our BT neck to get to Shadowmoon Valley, and log out at the daily quest givers. We'll stay logged out of those characters until Wrath launch. On launch, we'll turn in the Netherwing and Shadowmoon quest first, Hearth to Shatrath, turn in Shatrath quest, take the portal to the Isle, turn in Isle quest, and the quest Know Your Leylines will give us Darnarian's Scroll of Teleportation. We'll use that to port back to Shatrath and take the portal to Orgrimmar. As Horde, we'll go out to Durtar and turn right, climb the Zeppelin Tower and get on the Zeppelin on the Orgrimmar side of the tower to go to Borean Tundra. Alliance will go to the harbor and go to the northernmost dock to get on the ship to Borean Tundra. Once we arrive in Borean Tundra, we're heading to Amber Ledge, which is just north of Warsong Hold for Horde and northwest of Valiant's Keep for Alliance. Once here, we'll talk to the Red Dragon to fly to Caldara. Some Wowhead comments mention needing to do prereq quests before he'll let you fly to Caldara, but no prereq quests have been needed for all of beta. I'll have links to those quests in the description in case those end up being necessary on launch. Once we arrive in Caldara, I'm going to pick up all of the quests. We're gonna wait till we hit Dungeon Lockout to do them, but one of them, Have They No Shame, is a Nexus quest that will be doable immediately. If your group won't hit instance cap, quickly do Reading the Meters to unlock another Nexus quest. Now our plan is to spam run Nexus and quest in Caldara and Amberledge during lockouts till 73. The comp we're running is Prot Pally, Arms Warrior, Frosty K, Feral Druid, and Combat Rogue. Our heals come from Imp Leader of the Pack, Judgment of Light, and spot heals from our Feral Druid. This isn't a carefully picked meta comp or anything, just what my friends happen to play. One thing to note is that while you can do 5 instances an hour, the timer for the hour lockout does not start when you enter the first instance, but when you reset your first instance. This means that if you're going for more than an hour, your true instances per hour will be 4, regardless of whether you're clearing in 15 minutes or 12 minutes. This is why a lot of people choose to do 4-man dungeon groups, so that they get more XP per run and don't run into lockout issues. For me personally, I'm not kicking one of my friends I always run stuff with out of the group just to be a little more efficient, but you should decide what's best for you. It would definitely suck to leave a guilty group list so that 4 people can level a little bit quicker, so that's something to consider. You can use the add-on Nova Instance Tracker to keep track of your lockouts so you can enter again as soon as possible. You should still try to clear as quickly as possible while killing all of the mobs in the dungeon because you can spend the extra time questing or you can just take a quick break. I ran Nexus a lot early in beta with a variety of groups and also recently did a couple test runs with my friends that I'm going to be leveling with. We found that a 4 DPS group is definitely the way to go if you're doing a 5-man. Runs went much worse when we had a healer in the group. You may want to have someone with a healing dual spec for higher level dungeons in case you need it. I haven't played around with no healer comps past Nexus, so I can't say for sure how well it'll work, but I think it will still work fine. We did an 11:45 run with 40 PS, and I expect we can easily push that under 11, possibly under 10, once we get some more reps in. We got 153k XP for this run, and we'll be able to supplement that with questing, which should put us around 750 to 800k XP an hour. I'll have a link in the description to our Nexus 40 PS test run. As far as gear, this is a more refined version of the set I used for our test run that worked really well for me. I may swap out figurine for an AP trinket like Bloodless Brooch or Berserker's Call once I get some more runs in and see how necessary figurine actually is. Don't worry too much about min-maxing your caps since your cap needs and the percent you get from your rating will change every time you level. Just maintain your caps and don't worry if you're a bit over unless you have an easy gear swap you can make. The main numbers to be aware of are for crit cap, 5% for same level, 5.2% for plus 1 level, and 5.4% for plus 2 levels. For physical hit cap, 5% for same level, 6% for plus 1 level, and 7% for plus 2 levels. For expertise hard cap, 20 expertise for same level, 22 for plus 1 level, and 24 for plus 2 levels. As we level, percent for these stats will go down, so it's fine to be a bit over these numbers so that you maintain caps as you level. As you level, the caps you need will also be decreasing though if you continue to fight the same mobs, since their level will not change while yours will increase. You can also swap some gear around as you level to make up for these cap differences. 1300 to 1500 block value will be enough to carry you through the whole leveling process. Early on for things like Nexus, you can definitely drop some block value down to about 1k if you want. Aim for about 80% avoidance, but 75% plus should be sufficient. I'm going to use Dragon Scale Encrusted Longblade until 71 to spread SOV more quickly. Make sure you have a slow weapon ready to go for level 71 for Seal of Command. The Season 4 weapon is a great choice. Seal of Command is currently not normalized. It's unclear if this is intended or not, but you will do way more damage with a slower weapon using Seal of Command. In case you don't know, Seal of Command is our new go-to seal for AoE situations. Darkmoon Card Crusade is fantastic because you'll pretty much always have full stacks of both the AP and SP buff. For Libram, use Tome of the Lightbringer if you don't passively have enough block value. Otherwise, Libram of Divine Judgment is great for 71 plus, and you can use Libram of Avengement at 70. For gems and enchants, I'm keeping all of the more aggressive ones I've been using throughout pre-patch, like bolds and rigids in most gem slots. I'm going with sure-footed on boots because I'll have swiftness of Zanza up the entire time or very close to the entire time until I get Pursuit of Justice. I'm using the Relentless meta since I already have more block value than I need and can swap to Tome of the Lightbringer and or T6 Chest later if I need more. For talents, I'm starting with this build and the new points I get as I level will be put into Seal of Command, then Pursuit of Justice, then Conviction, then Crusade. I'm skipping Vindication since our warrior can demo shout if we actually need the AP reduction, and it's more reliable. Feel free to put points after Seal of Command and Pursuit of Justice into Toughness or other things you want in the Prot tree. I'm also going for Divine Sack and Divine Guardian, since we won't have a healer, just a way to reduce the group's damage. I'm dropping some points in Toughness since damage taken is already very low. Then I'm grabbing Emptivo to reduce my own damage taken, but also increase our warrior's AP through the Armored to the Teeth talent. Reduce damage taken by the group when they get hit by physical AoEs or briefly pull aggro, and to increase the whole group's healing received to help make up for not having a healer. I'm picking up 5 points in Reckoning to make sure I always have the buff up and can maximize damage. This is extra impactful once we get Seal of Command at 71, and Reckoning is causing us to do 3 extra Seal of Command hits on top of the extra white hit. I'm dropping 1 point in Sacred Duty since I don't really need the stam right now, and the reduced CD on Divine Protection doesn't matter much at this point. Grabbing 1 point in Guarded by the Light to refresh my Divine Plea at level 71 and onwards, and I'm grabbing 1 point in Judgments of the Just, so my Judgment will proc Seal of Command Cleave. As for glyphs, we have pretty poor options until new ones start getting unlocked. Going into Northern, I'm probably just using Glyph of Judgment and Spiritual Attunement. I'm going to carry a Glyph of Seal of Command with me in my bags for level 71, since it's a lot better than the other options. I'll be checking the auction house on an alt occasionally to see if Glyph of Hammer of the Righteous, Glyph of Divine Plea, or Glyph of Holy Wrath become available. Glyph of Hammer of the Righteous is the top glyph choice for dungeoning once it's available on your server. Glyph of Divine Plea is generally a good second glyph, but for Ankahet dungeon spam specifically, Glyph of Holy Wrath is fantastic because there are lots of undead mobs. For consumes, I'm starting with Elixir of Major Strength, plus Swiftness of Zanza. For food, I'm using roasted cleftof, but also carrying some spicy hot talbuk for later when I lose too much hit percent from leveling. As for pots, I'm bringing 2 stacks of mana pots. Before you get Divine Plea, you'll be chugging these non-stop, but every time you complete a dungeon, you and the person with the most healing will get a bag that contains new mana pots, health pots, elixirs, food, water, and scrolls. So you'll very quickly have lots of the new runic mana potions to spam. Since you're getting elixirs too, you can replace your elixir of major strength with elixir of mighty strength or accuracy or expertise if you fall below cap, and elixir of mighty defense for your guardian elixir once you're out of swiftness of Zanza, which will also help you maintain crit cap and decent avoidance as you level. For weapon enhancement, use adamantite sharpening stone. At 71, I'm going to Hearth and get Divine Plea and get summoned back. At 71, we also get Seal of Command. So this first level is a pretty huge power spike. These two spells combined should help make these runs a lot quicker. Once our group hits 73, we're heading over to Dragonblight to spam run Ankahet. Fly out of Koldara and just follow the road east to get there. Then we're going to run Ajol Narub once just to do the quests, Death to the Traitor King, and don't forget the eggs. You won't get a lot of XP in this dungeon, but the 2 quests make it worth it. Ankahet is going to give about 150k XP per run, and make sure you have the quest from Killix called the Faceless Ones. I only ran this in partial pugs on beta, but it should be doable in 12 minutes or less with an organized group. During instance lockouts, you can quest at the nearby quest hubs. I recommend going to Wormrest Temple, grabbing the flight point, and doing the Obsidian Dragon Shrine questline during a lockout. This will get you to friendly with Wormrest Accord so you can buy their tabard. In case you don't know, all of the main factions in Wrath have tabards that can be bought at friendly, and wearing the tabard allows you to get rep for that faction by killing mobs in level 80 dungeons or heroics. So these tabards are important to get, but the Wormrest Accord one is especially good due to how many pieces they have for prop pallies. If you've been able to get the Glyph of Holy Wrath, now that you're at Ankahet, this is the time to use it. Ideally, you'd have both Glyph of Hammer of the Righteous and Glyph of Holy Wrath, but they just might not be available at this point on your server if you're doing this early on. After you kill the second boss, go down the tunnel, and once you come out of the tunnel, go left and you'll go down a slope and you'll see a bunch of Boglord mobs. Start killing these, and the first one you kill will drop a quest item, and to complete the quest, you just kill more of the Boglords. The third boss in Ankahet isn't worth killing since it takes too long, and there's some pretty dangerous elemental trash right before her, and that trash also gives very little XP too. At level 75, you can take a break and go to Amphitheater of Anguish and Zul'Drak if you're ahead of the pack. AoA is the Wrath version of Ring of Blood. You'll get a ton of XP very quickly, plus a weapon upgrade. This weapon is only a small upgrade from the Season 4 weapon because you won't be able to put a weapon enhancement on it due to its item level being too high. It is 2.8 speed though, and will do huge Seal of Command damage. If you're planning to swap to this, make sure you're carrying an enchanting scroll with you so you can enchant it right away. I'll be using this and throwing Mongoose on it. If you aren't ahead of the pack, AoA probably won't be worth doing, since it will be swarmed with other groups trying to do it. After AoA, you can go back to Ankahet till 77, or spam Drakthar on Keep till 77 if you want a change of scenery. Dractheron only gives about 110k XP per run, but the runs with an organized group are about 8 minutes. Make sure to skip Novos, the second boss in these runs. He takes forever to kill for very little XP. You'll spend a lot of time locked out of instances if you do Dractheron. Luckily, there are 4 quest hubs right outside the dungeon, so your group can quest during instance lockout without losing much time. This will only be effective if you're ahead of the pack. If questing is overrun, just go back to Ankahet. My group will likely do AoA and then do Dractheron and questing. At 77, there are quite a few options. You can simply spam Halls of Lightning from 77 to 80 if you want to. I didn't actually try this on beta when I was leveling, so I'm going off of Fusion's numbers here since they're a reliable source. They say 176k XP per run with a 17 to 20 minute clear time. If you're clearing this in 17 minutes, that's about 620k XP per hour. Our group is going to wait to do Halls of Lightning. First, we're going to get the Sons of Hodir intro done since we're likely going to be ahead of the pack. This quest chain unlocks shoulder enchants. The Prot Pally shoulder enchant of choice comes from PvP, so the Sons of Hodir enchant doesn't actually matter for us. But everyone else in your group is going to want this and they're account bound, so you can get this done on your Pally and just mail enchants to your alts. The Sons of Hodir chain has many bottlenecks, so this chain will be a nightmare to do when lots of people are there. If you aren't ahead of the pack when you get to this point, just save this for later and try to do it at off-peak hours or save it for when you're leveling in alt. Next, we'll likely do Icecrown to unlock the Knights of the Ebon Blade rep. This rep itself isn't important for prop pallies, but you have to do a lot of Argent Crusade quests to unlock it, and Argent Crusade rep gives us our Helm enchant and some good starter legs, plus people in your group will likely want to unlock Ebon Blade for their Helm enchant, and if you're ahead of the pack, questing here will be really good XP per hour anyway. To start, you'll go to the Argent camp in Southeast Icecrown. You'll then do a bunch of Argent Crusade quests. Once you finish the Icecrown intro, you'll get sent to the ship, and then you'll get sent to the new Ebon Blade hub. We'll complete that and then spam Halls of Lightning to 80. So that's the full leveling path I'm planning to take. I think it's pretty efficient since we get at least friendly with the important reps to get the tabards on our way to 80, as well as unlocking both Sons of Hodir and Ebon Blade dailies. In terms of raw XP, it will be slower than some other methods, but I think it's fast enough and varied enough that you won't fall asleep doing it. Once you're 80, start doing heroics with the Wormrest Tabard on until you're revered, and then swap to the Argent Crusade Tabard till revered. This will get you a bunch of entry-level gear and your Helm enchant on your first day at level 80. If you like what I do and want to support me, the easiest way to do that is just liking, subscribing, and commenting. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.